It's time to huddle up. It's the Turf District Podcast. Welcome back to the Turf District, where we huddle up to talk all things Edmonton Elks and the CFL. And we are a proud member of the Canadian Football Podcast Network. Thank you for joining us this evening, whether you're on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter. That's fantastic that you're joining us. I know there's an important hockey game on, and if you're taking some time to be with us at the same time, we very much appreciate it. You may also be listening to us on Edmonton Sports Talk Radio on a Thursday night, but if you're doing that, the game is also on, so thanks again for having a listen in there. So we are trying to get around this playoff schedule, but we have lots of exciting things to talk about with training camp coming and everything getting started. Reminder, if you are joining us live, make sure that you put your comments and or questions on whichever platform that you are watching. And that way then we can get to those either during the show or after in overtime. So first and foremost, let's bring in our good friend. There he is, Superfan Mike. How are you, Superfan?
Good. Well, I mean, come on. It is like football fan Christmas right now. We are back at Commonwealth Stadium. We're watching the guys on the field, and we're undefeated. So, I mean, it's a pretty solid time of year.
It is the most exciting time of the
Isn't
year.
it?
It was so nice when you were texting me on Saturday and saying, happy training camp eve,
It's true.
and it just felt like that. It was so exciting.
Oh God, it's just so great getting to see everybody again. We saw the course on Sunday. We were at the field house, but then yesterday got to be outside again. Today, it's a pretty special time.
Yeah, and I missed today, so I'm excited for you to fill me in on the excitement from today.
I'm gonna make it all up, but that's okay.
Are you?
Yes.
Who's gonna check it?
Right. Oh, we zoomed in. Wow.
Guys, I decided to zoom in because I figure it's just us. It's just us this evening.
True.
It's like different hostful.
Different.
Only two of us.
Yes.
Yeah. Kayla is unfortunately on the one game, but or one show list, but she'll be back next week. So
There
all will be good. Oh, look at that. Little adjustment there so we can see a little more super fan and a little more footballs.
Little more footballs. All about yes.
I know how excited you'd be about that.
Why would I be?
Now, before we get into all the training camp stuff, Mike, our 300th show is on the horizon.
It is coming up.
This is 296, so it is coming up. We also happen to have 282 subscribers on YouTube. I would really like to get to 300 subscribers before our 300th show. So
18 to go.
If you are tuning in right now and you haven't already hit that lovely little subscribe button below, please hit that. If you have already done that, then tell your friends and have them hit that subscribe button and let them know that when we're live, join us for the conversation, join us in the huddle. We want more of that, and we're getting close to that 300 level, which is unbelievable. I also realized that as I said all that, I didn't thank all the people who have downloaded the podcast. So thank you for downloading to spend some time with us as you have time. Superfan, let's get into it. Training camp opens. So many interesting storylines right up front. Like you said, the first day, of course, with all the smoke in the area, we ended up having to be indoors and in the field house. And so it started with linemen on both sides and the special team kickers and things. And then they had the entire group, and then the line guys left, and the receivers and DBs and things stuck around. So, lots of interesting things to see there. It's interesting to watch that first day being right on the same level as them, because some of these guys that when you see them in the stands, you're like, oh yeah, that guy's big. But when you're standing behind the window, you're like, oh, that guy's enormous. But lots of interesting things there. And then of course we're out on Monday morning, like you said, back at Commonwealth, and you were there today, and I'll be there the rest of the week. So, give me your immediate first impression of what you've seen over the last 3 days.
I think the first day again was almost more about seeing everybody again, both on the field and seeing all of our football family again, getting those hugs in person, getting to sort of talk to people face to face that we haven't seen for some of them in quite a long time. Obviously, we saw Leanne and James, who I personally haven't seen in several years, and it was just absolutely fantastic. Lots of great hugs there.
I'm so glad they made it. That was Leanne's first training camp, and James' training
absolutely.
camp.
And happy birthday to James as well. It is
exactly. Well, big birthday. So happy birthday.
Yeah. So like I said, it was just absolutely great. Supermom was there for her first training camp as well. So what
did she think?
I think she had a good time. I mean, a lot of it it's almost like sensation overload, I think, for a lot of people. So seems to be counting down on the podcast. Maybe I'm delayed.
Oh, maybe. Okay.
I'm not sure. I guess we'll find out. Okay. Or maybe I'm just really behind. I don't know.
Yeah, it could be.
It's probably just that. So, anyway, it was just one of those exciting times. It was inside, but because we got to see everybody and everyone got to sort of sit around and talk and everything else. We also got to meet Patrick Lavoie's parents.
We did,
which I thought was very, very cool. They've been there every day so far. They were here again today. So that's got to be very exciting and probably a little nerve-wracking for them as well.
I can only imagine.
I
know his mom was saying to me, everywhere he's played, he's always been like the top player, and then you come here and it's like, oh,
Now you're a pro. Now you have to make the team with guys that are, playing
right.
to put food on the table.
Yeah, all the good guys are here, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of a interesting shift.
Yeah, and then of course we got to see McLeod Bethel Thompson for the first time throwing the ball in green and gold with the gold jerseys on. You got to have a very close-up view of what it's like for the receivers when you see that ball coming your way very fast.
Yeah, and you know what? For me, that was so wild because there's part of me that just wants to be like, throw it to me. But the other part was he threw it, and I'm like, oh my God, I would be doing the you can't catch footballs with your face and end up in the hospital. Like, it's not like he was throwing it with some serious pepper, and it was pretty wild to watch that. At that first day, I think the biggest thing that stood out to me though, and I know you and I talked about this, was Kurleigh Gittens Jr. because we did not expect him to be out on the field, much less performing the way that he was. And that connection between MBT and Kurleigh is something else. And
absolutely
hit him for that 140-yard bomb that was just unbelievable. And I thought, I know you and I and Paul were all like, wow. I didn't expect that. So that was pretty
continued
cool.
it again at Commonwealth as well. Like, the one thing we thought is, okay, he's going to be on the first day, but maybe he would take the second day off as a maintenance day. Right. Turns out, no, he's been there Monday and again, Monday and today. Yeah. He again was throwing some really great routes, making guys miss like in a phone booth. Absolutely outstanding to see him there. Hergy Mayala, another guy that was, I thought really did well today. Kyron Moore had a fantastic day today.
Oh, did he?
Absolutely. Okay. Just like him and Javon Leakey.
Okay.
They were doing a lot of return drills.
Wow.
And they were making guys just look silly, which was absolutely great to say.
Really?
Javon Leakey was also doing a lot of stuff at the running back position. Okay. So he seems to be working a lot with the ones and the twos. So very interesting to see for sure. I think there's going to be a lot of interesting looks that we're going to throw at them.
I see over the first couple of days, I see a tandem between KB and Javon Leake because they each bring a little something different. But if you can keep them a little more fresh, right? Javon Leake has got. We already know KB is fast. Like we know that we love KB, all those things. But Javon Leake was surprisingly fast.
He's very shifty, I think, is the thing, right? It's not just his straight ahead speed; it's just being able to move side to side and jump through some of these guys. And KB, like seeing him up close, he is just shredded. It's like you put on another 10 or 15 pounds of muscle. Like, he is a big boy. He's got muscles in places I don't have places. So
title of the podcast.
Yeah, it's just everyone looked like they were ready to go. We did talk to Jamin Pelly, and he said on Sunday.
Wait, you mean 6'6"?
6'6", exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Which he loved being called. But he said it was just like these guys were intense. Like, first day they were out there long before we were supposed to start. And like the intensity was there. That was the other thing we noticed is there's at least one player that has a bit of sandpaper to him.
you could say. Yeah.
He stood out a lot and seemed to be getting a lot of the coaches sort of fired up and maybe trying to rein him in just a little bit because the intensity is great, but it's a lot better when it's somebody else and not your own teammates.
Correct. Yeah. So you're referring to Kimdichi, who is on the defensive line. Now, when the play is on, holy cow, he
moves for a guy that's 300 pounds
is really, really good. But yeah, it didn't take long before Mark Cordy and himself were gripping each other's face masks and pushing each other around a little bit. And
again today,
there was I was going to ask.
Wasn't Cordy,
today
but it was
they had pads on today, right?
They sure did, and they were popping.
Oh, I can imagine. I can imagine.
So there was a few times when maybe people took exception to some of the things that were going on, and a few scuffles going on, and
Okay.
number 77 seemed to be in the middle of a few of them.
Odd. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's the general report that we get back from the guys too, was like, he's a great player, but like, whoa, it's okay.
Let's bang him.
On the other hand, maybe he's one of those guys that he needs that, like he needs that fire
It's
to
possible,
really get going. But I after that first scuffle, I thought it was funny because Thick Six kind of reached over and gave him a tap, like,
right.
all right, dude, like we're good, like, okay, this teammates, like it's okay.
You notice the difference in Jamin as well. Like, he is one of the veterans now on the team, having been there a few years. So
Right?
he seems to be really taking that role, and it's great. I love to see it because we do have a
Absolutely.
lot of new faces on that line.
Yep.
And we needed someone to maybe step up and be the, not necessarily calming presence, because Jamin can be a pretty ferocious beast out there if you're facing the wrong way. But yeah, it seems to be a little bit of leadership coming in there, and I loved it.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Tyler has a great name for the podcast, Undefeated. We can go with
Nice.
that too. Just wanted to get that in there before we forgot. Let's keep our focus on the lines for now, and then we'll work our way out. So, because I know both of you and I said last week that was something that we were going to be paying attention
100%.
to. On the D line, Elliott Brown
100%.
is having a really good first few days, and
Yep.
the line, and I don't know if it was you that told me this or if it was Morley, that he was talking to Odell, and Odell said, "That was Paul." Yeah, and he said, "Yeah, I see 41 out there," and a few times I've had to look and be like, "Is that me?"
Yep.
It's kind of similar,
and again, continued to today as well.
Yeah, like really, really showing up. And Noah Curtis. Now, two things about him that I want to say. Number one, taking a step forward.
Yep.
Playing that outside position, like really trying to push. But when he came off the field on Sunday, he stopped to every person and introduced himself. "Hi, I'm Noah. Nice to meet you. What's your name?" Like all the way down.
Yep.
And that, like, I just love guys like that know that it's about more than just what they're doing on the field. It's awesome.
Yep. And I mean, and Noah Curtis is another guy that's 300 pounds. And for an edge guy, that's great. One thing I did notice today is they were doing great against the run.
Okay.
So especially
good.
Between the tackles.
Okay.
Guys that bounced around outside were still getting caught well within 5 yards.
Okay.
And guys that were going between the tackles often were getting stopped for a loss. So very, very cool. Now, I mean, defenses maybe start a little early
sure,
compared to the offenses. But that's a place that I was really hoping we would see improved over last year. Because our run stopping game wasn't necessarily as good as we would have liked it to be. And I think that they really put some work into it.
Well, and the run stopping game too the front line definitely contributes, but it also is those linebackers. So we're seeing Morgan at middle. Tony Jones has been playing Will.
Yep.
Who is it, Sam, today?
Leon O'Neill Jr. He's a guy listed as someone that I looked up a lot. I kept like, who's 32?
Yeah.
He seemed to be playing with the ones a lot. Very cool.
Perfect.
To see.
Excellent. So, you know what? I think we both said that last year. Like we have to run the ball, but we also have to stop the run.
100%.
Nice to see that. And Kai Gray back on the field today after missing a day with somebody stepping on his pinky. I hope it wasn't James, one of the big dudes.
Yeah, well, he still had it, so I'm guessing it wasn't.
That's fair.
Yeah.
All right, so let's switch to the other side of the ball on the line, and we were both very interested to see what was going to happen on the offensive line. Give me your first impressions.
I seem to be there was, especially yesterday, I noticed a lot of the offensive lines doing very well in the one-on-one drills. Like it might, like the very first time they ran it, sometimes the defensive lines would get through either by a bull rush or a swim move or whatever. But by the time they kind of got through and started doing the second and third runs, the offensive line was, I think, winning those drills, which was great to see. Not all of them. I mean, it's a pretty scary defensive line at times. Another thing that was great today was Martez Ivy was back at camp. So this was his first day back with the pads on. So, and he did very well as well today.
Okay.
But I noticed it more at the guards. The guards seem to have stepped up a lot. TJK, Thomas Jack
taking a step.
Has
100%.
definitely, it has done, I thought, really well this year. And again, in the one-on-ones, I thought he really acquitted himself really well.
Yeah, I totally agree. That was the one that stood out to me,
right,
as far as the guys that have been here. Now, one of our draft picks, Morkin, he has stood out to me as well over the past couple of days. Now, you said you weren't sure, he didn't see him on the field today. But...
Well, I saw someone leaving the field with his jersey off, and he was a big guy, so I figured it was an offensive lineman. And then I did not see 56 and 58 on the field. So that's Morkin and Patrick Lavoie.
Yes.
But then I was pretty sure I was talking with Ken, and I thought I saw 58 come back on the field in jersey. So if it was him leaving, he was back in the field, but I don't think that was him that was leaving. So I think that may have been Morkin. So hopefully it's something that they're just going to look at and get fixed up. But if not, I think that could be disappointing, because I think he was a really good bright spot for a young rookie.
Absolutely. On day one, there was a couple of times I had to look at my list again, because it was Grahovic that I thought, he won that one pretty well. But I didn't notice it as much on Tuesday. So I'll keep an eye as the week goes on here to see kind of how or Monday, sorry. Yeah.
You weren't there Tuesday.
No, I wasn't. Well, I just, I have my spies. It's fine. That's what you're there for.
Right. Is that what I'm there for?
Yeah. You're your perfect spy. I love it. Yeah. It's awesome. You fill me in. It's great. No, sure. Not thinking that. Okay. All right. So anything else on the O-line you want to chat about?
I think that's basically it. I think that they, especially as the time goes on, they were improving a lot. And I think just having Ivy back to have that number one line back is going to be great. I'm trying to think who stepped in when Ivy wasn't there.
Besant, I think, was the one guy. Yeah, that was mostly in there.
That 54?
That is
Stormont.
And 53 was Besant. And I think I saw them both in there, but Stormont I think was in there more. You're right. Yeah.
Right.
So close names, at least a little. Yeah. They end similarly.
That's right.
Come on.
There are ants. They're the big walking trees. The ants.
It's training camp for us too. Come on. We're just learning. Yeah. We'll get to the nicknames after. Don't you worry. There's some great ones. Let's switch to quarterback play. We already talked about MBT firing the ball. I did notice that the connections with, of course, Kurleigh Gittens Jr. Saw D. Mitch getting some really good passes in there. Saw Gavin Cobb make some incredible catches in there.
Cobb continued again today.
Oh, did he? Okay. Yep. He's taken that step as well, just like TJK.
Absolutely. Yeah. I thought that D. Mitch had a couple of drops that I'm just not sure if it was just overthrown or underthrown by various quarterbacks, not just a particular one. But he still had some great catches as well. Like I said, Kyron Moore on offense had a great game because he is just so shifty. I mean, there's a reason they call him Swerve, right?
Yes.
And he was making, again, some of these DBs look pretty silly.
Excellent. Have you started to see a little more connection between Gino and any of the quarterbacks? Because I didn't see a ton of balls thrown his way in the first couple of days.
He had several balls. In fact, he had one thrown. Kai Gray seemed to be covering him a lot. And he completely undressed Kai on the first ball. But
did he?
Yeah. Then I think he sort of fell on the ball because he was a little tender getting up, and he was on the sideline sort of stretching it off. But then he came back and he was catching a lot of throws against Gray and against others. And being the Geno that we all were hoping we would get and have been getting. So, yeah, he's been great. For receivers, another guy that I kept looking up a lot was number 89, which is Jerminic Smith.
Yep.
He had a great game. Malik Flowers is 88.
Okay.
He had a really great game. I didn't see as much from 80 and 81. That's Deontez Alexander and 80 from Germany.
JFJ.
Yes.
Yeah.
John Franklin Jr.
Franklin Jr. Yeah. We were noticing him a lot in the first couple of, the first day it was because he was wearing such tight shorts that it was hard to miss.
Oh, John Franklin III.
There you go, John Franklin III. But I think he was standing out on Monday, but today not as much.
Right.
Okay. The other one was who was the other guy that we kept talking about? It was get it up. I got to remember his name. There
Receiver?
was, and it was. I had his name in my head, and now it is gone. Give me 1 second here as I scanned the list of names.
I'm trying to think what number it would have been.
Not Kyron.
I saw a lot from Danny Davis today, 86.
Arkell Smith. That was one I was going to say.
Right.
71.
71.
Yeah. We did see a bit of that.
Yeah, I don't think I noticed him as much today. We also had number 70. Seemed to get a lot of balls. He's the junior player from the Huskies or Wildcats. He's getting a lot, which has been kind of neat to see. He's not,
and he's catching it. But
awesome. Danny Davis, I kept noticing a lot today as well. Number 86.
Okay, cool. Good names to be keeping an eye on as that kind of starts up. So. What about on the defensive side of the ball? Let's switch over to our DB side. What did you see in there?
I didn't notice as much of the DBs today. I was focusing kind of more on the lines and the linebackers, the front seven.
Okay. Yeah.
So I didn't notice them as much, but I found that there was Kai Gray had another great game, another great day. He's again taking that next step from being rookie of the year.
Okay.
That was
Marcus Lewis too, man. He is
blanking
people. Yeah.
That's the thing is it's one of those things where you don't notice them. Maybe that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Right. But there were
Totally
a couple of interceptions, there was one play and I didn't get the number of the guy that did it, but stripped the ball from the receiver after he caught it and then ran it back.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, so there's a lot cheering. I think they did keep score between the offense and defense. And when I last checked, it was 32-32.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So good balance there.
Really good battle.
Okay. That's fantastic. Let's I'm just going to look and see if I had any other notes here. Oh, I was going to say that Trey Ford looks great as well. And looks like he's taking that mentorship from MBT and using it to his advantage. It looked like he was sharper now than what he was in last year
in camp. Absolutely. Again, first thing this morning, I think he overthrew or underthrew someone today. Ken and I were talking about it right away. Okay. This is again first thing in the morning when we got there, and then later on he seemed to adjust because he was just hitting guys right in stride.
Oh, nice. Okay, fantastic. So, right down the middle.
Yeah, the thing about the quarterbacks, and we were talking about this a lot, is just I didn't see a lot to differentiate between some of the new guys that were out there.
Okay,
whether it was Trey Lowe the third, or Malik Henry,
even Jarrett Dagey, like he
was. Yeah, Dagey had a good day. Good day.
Did he? Okay.
But it's just it's 13, 16, and 7. The new guys, Centeo, Malik Henry, and Trey Lowe the third.
Right.
Again, they all seem to play well. It's just, but no one really seemed to be pulling away, or no one seemed to be lagging behind. So I think it's going to be a really interesting battle for that spot.
Yeah, absolutely. Whether it's the third or the practice roster spot. Yep. Yeah, for sure. Okay, so very, very, very early. Jimmy Gaines, people, who would you put on your list so far?
Well, I mean, again, because this is really only the second day we've had a really good view
Correct.
of these guys. So
Yeah.
who you put now may not necessarily be even in the mix.
Correct.
Of course, we've also got several cuts that are happening tonight. So
Right now. Yeah, exactly. Right as
So-
we're recording.
right, of course.
We'll talk about it tomorrow.
Go figure.
Thanks. Yeah,
exactly. Like I said, Leon O'Neill Jr., the
Mhm.
Sam linebacker, he's kind of stood out because he's in a guy that I kept looking at the sheet. Like, who's that guy again?
Right.
Because we're still learning all the numbers. And Germanic Smith. These are
Yep.
two guys, and that, again, if he keeps making me look at the sheet because you're doing something well, that to me means you're standing out.
Yeah, absolutely. I would go Brian Hughes Jr.
Yep.
Made some great plays. I would put DK Bonhomme on there,
Another great
on
one,
the
yeah.
outside, but he's made just from the linebacker position the jumps on the like on the blitzes.
Right.
He's done really well. So I'm excited about that guy, and I think of course Kemdichi. And Morkin, if he's sticking around. Yeah, Morkin from Orkin. I see you put that in there. That's
Yes,
well done.
absolutely.
Yeah, we're gonna nickname him Nanu, so that's
Right.
great. So it's there is some names of new guys that.
Oh, and who's 34? 30 running back.
Mailman, Canada Post.
Yeah, he had a solid day, I thought, today.
Justin Rankin.
Right.
Justin
Rankin Bass.
Right.
Yes.
There we go. Oh my goodness. Not the Rankin family?
No, like
Okay.
Yukon Cornelius. Come on now.
Come on now. I should know that. Okay, let's get into a couple of the nicknames, and then we're gonna get into this amazing interview that we had. So we had some fun with that. There was the quarterback that's here from well, I should rephrase. Linda is the provider of the nicknames.
She is mother. Yeah.
Correct. And so the gentleman that's here from the university,
Justin Quiron,
yes, that is playing with us, doesn't have a birth date on the sheet, and so Linda has deemed him Hatch. Yes, which is perfect. The Canada Post is what we said about the guy earlier about Rankin, but that was because at the end of the first day, it kind of looked like he was mailing it in.
Now he's carrying the mail, so he can still be Canada Post.
That's right. So now he's the mailman who's making the delivery. So yes, that's fantastic. I'll let you. What are a couple other ones that you remember?
Number 80 was Spanx.
Correct.
That was again John Franklin III. He had some serious tight shorts going on there.
Yeah, that was a tough one. Yep.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what else we had.
I'm trying to think of the other ones. Well, we had Morkin from Morkin for sure. We were talking about that.
Yep.
I can't remember the other ones. We're gonna have to ask Lyndon again. I should have wrote them all down. There was a whole bunch of good ones. But anyway, those were the main ones. So all right, now for fun, after practice on Monday, I was able to catch up with our new receiver in Kurleigh Gittens Jr. for an interview. So let's go to that right now. Joined now by Kurleigh Gittens Jr., new receiver to the Elks, but of course been in the league for a few years. So tell us a little bit about your first few days in Edmonton.
It's been a little quiet, but also a little chilly. But I got used to like just everything. I came down here a week before camp, so I was able to kind of just get acclimated to the weather, just how things work in Edmonton. I'm just super grateful to be here. These guys, they're the coaching staff, even the players, they're just so welcoming. So I really feel at home.
Good. It probably helps a little bit too. You get connected with your quarterback that you had the most success with in McLeod Bethel Thompson. Tell us a little bit about that connection.
I got nothing but love for Mac. He's like a big brother.
Yeah.
Like a big brother. Just it's just so much love. Ever since I stepped in there, he's pushed me to become just a better person.
Yeah.
And and a better, of course, a better player as well too. And he's just a guy who loves football, and I love football too. I think that's why we kind of mesh so well, because we both we got the passion and the love for the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Now tell us a little bit. You're Canadian receiver. What was your football journey before you got to Toronto?
So I got recruited out of high school from Ottawa.
Yeah.
And I played 4 years at Wilfrid Laurier University, and I had a successful university career. And from then, I was able to go to the National Combine, CFL Combine, and I was able to get drafted to in the third round, 23rd overall by the Toronto Argonauts. And ever since then, I've just been taking it day by day, year by year, and just kind of, just appreciating the game, the game of football, and just attacking each day as a blessing to be out here. So,
Well, and that's fantastic. So when you get drafted and you come into the CFL, obviously you're playing already 3-down ball. You kind of knew that. How did you feel though coming in as a Canadian receiver and then taking on such a big role?
There's you gotta trust the process, because especially being a Canadian in the CFL, as crazy as that sounds, but you really got to earn your respect in the Canadian Football League. And that's one thing you got to learn coming in from, especially the youth sports, where they kind of look at you as the minority, because you didn't play football in Division 1, right?
The big colleges.
So you take all that into contact, and you just use it as motivation. And the way to make a football club is, through special teams. So before you even think about going on offense, first you got to think about, making a football team. And that's what I kind of, focused on in my first year getting drafted. Just kind of focused on just, being a football player. How can I help the football club? Obviously we had, in 2019, we had, S.J. Green, he's a Hall of Famer. DeVell Walker, at that point, he was probably the best receiver in the league. We had Armani Edwards, and then we had Rodney Smith, Jimmy Ralph, and I go on and on and on. So, it's just about, those guys just taught me about being, just patience. Those guys were really true, good, dudes, good, good people. And, they just took me under their wing and just showed me the ropes, just being patient. So when my time came in 21, I kind of just, took what those guys taught me, with my connection with Mac, and just, kind of just, got it going. And, from then it's just history.
Yeah, absolutely. Now you're coming off a little bit of a bigger injury. Obviously tougher after you had the big season. How are you feeling now as you get back into the start of a training camp?
I feel pretty good. Obviously, like I say, it's just about, your perspective on life. Obviously, it's football. You love, as much as you love football, football don't love you back,
You don't say.
The sooner you realize that, the better off you are. You know what I mean? So for me, it's just, I'll always love it regardless. And it's just, I just look at it, it's not a bump in my journey. And, just taking it, day by day, just being, grateful and thankful, just being out there with the guys. And honestly, my body feels amazing, and I'm just gonna take it day by day. And that's pretty much all I really can control. Right, just doing the things I need to do on a daily basis, and just going out there and giving full effort, and being honest with myself. Really.
Well, I gotta say, when we came in and saw you yesterday and today as onlookers, you look really good.
That's a goal, and it's only gonna get better. You'll have those days where you gotta have to push through it, but that's football. And you gotta understand that as being a professional athlete, and we got so much time, so it's all about taking care of your body, doing the little things, just to help you perform the best out there. But honestly, I feel good.
Good. That's the best part. That's
good.
The best part. So, couple last ones for you. First one, how are you liking this receiving group and the coaching now that you've got a couple of days under your belt?
Everybody's amazing. First I'll start with the coaching staff. Those guys, ever since I got traded, obviously they traded for me. That means they really wanted me. And I can't say enough about them. I had them in Toronto in 21, and those guys, I love them, and they're very good teachers. Right? Good. So they know how to teach the game of football, because everybody learns differently. But those guys, they know how to teach football. And Coach Jones, Coach Howell, Coach J. Jack, all those guys, they're just, they're good people, and I want to be around them. You know what I mean? I want to be here, damn near 20 hours of the 20. You know what I mean? So those guys make me they just made it feel like home, and the playbook is, I like to challenge myself a little bit. So I'm really just, excited to be here, and can't say enough about, our receiving core. Me personally, I think we got the best receiving core in the CFL. But honestly, I'm gonna just say that. And that's the only thing I'm gonna say, because we go out each and every day, we work, and everything else just kind of take care of itself. And our DBs, you know, they get us ready for the, you know, the other guys. So
yeah. Well,
we got a great team.
That's how they. That's how you get better, right?
Exactly.
And you don't need to say it because you're just going to show it.
Exactly.
That's the important part.
Exactly.
Coming on now with a guy like Eugene Lewis, who was also another top receiver, kind of feel like, okay, like you've had a lot of guys that you already listed off that kind of help you in the game. Same thing with Gino?
Oh, yeah. Gino is an amazing dude, you know, like as much as they're so good on the field, it's like, you know, it's the person they are like inside the locker room. And Gino's, he's down to earth, you know, he's the one you can go and approach, and, you know, if you got something to say, he knows how to say it, right? And if you got an input as well, he'll listen, all that. And he's just a relatable guy. Obviously, you know, his play says, you know, I don't got to say much about his play. You know what I mean? So I've been around some great receivers, and he's up there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So I'm just
awesome.
Same as D Mitch, same as Swerve, all those guys. We got ballers. So I'm really just, we're really just blessed to be around each other because, you know, we complement each other's games so well. So
I agree. So now, a couple of questions to get to know you a little better. What do you like to do when you're not doing football?
Honestly, are we talking in camp?
Well,
or are we talking like
anytime.
when season starts?
Yeah, anytime when season starts.
So I got a 4-year-old daughter. 4-year-old daughter. Her name's Logan. So really, when I ain't playing football, you know, she needs all the attention she can get.
Absolutely.
But if I do get some time, I do like gaming with my friends. It's a way to connect, you know, with my friends I went to university with. I like keeping contact with those guys because those guys are my, you know, they help you become the person you are.
Yeah, absolutely.
And all that. So I keep, you know, I play little video games, all that.
What are you playing?
Little Madden,
little
2K, you know, Warzone, all that stuff. So
that makes sense.
It's really just what the guys are doing. You know, it's really because you get a group of guys, whatever games you guys like. You know, some guys might get better than others, but you know, it's just pretty much the whole point of it is we all together.
That's
you know
right.
What I mean?
Yeah.
So I really
different hangout than what it is now. It's all online. So that's cool.
Yeah. Other than that, it's just I love watching football.
Awesome.
I love watching football.
You love it. Yeah. Okay. All right. Did you have a player that you kind of was your role model as you were coming up?
Yeah, he's a little crazy now, but you know, I'm not gonna, you know, but before all that, you know what I mean? Like he's such a great football player. AB, one guy, because you know our body types are a little bit the same, and honestly, like if you look at his numbers compared to all the greats, he's up there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And one other guy, you know, Dallas is my team. I love Des Bryant.
Okay,
just the way he attacks the football. He's so aggressive. You know, it's his ball. That's the way he goes up for the football, and I appreciate that. You know, just watching it. You know what I mean? So.
Oh, totally makes sense. Totally makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, cookies or chips?
What kind of chips though? What kind of cookies?
We're getting specific.
Yeah, we got to.
Okay, well, let's go with chocolate chip cookies versus salt and vinegar chips.
I take the chips, salt and vinegar.
Spoken like a true Canadian. Only Old Dutch, right? That's the important part. Yeah.
Miss Vicky's good too.
Okay.
Yeah, he's good too.
I'll let that slide. Okay. Do you have a favorite food?
Honestly, I'm old school, so I'm from Guyana, so I really like a home cooked meal. So I really like some fried rice, or some sort of stew with some, you know, with some rice and just chicken.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Fantastic. Excellent. All right. Well, we're really glad that you are here and part of the team. Thanks for taking some time to chat with us. We'll be catching you throughout the season, and best of luck as the rest of training camp goes on.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
This was fun.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
All right, there we have it. Kurleigh Gittens Jr.
That's exciting.
He was fantastic. He was just such
dude.
Easy guy to talk to, and it was so funny though because as I was chatting to him, like he kept moving over, and I'm like, "You're gonna be like," so I kept trying to kind of direct him back because my head kept turning farther and farther, and I'm like, "Wait a second, what is going on here?" But it was a great chat with him. We'll try and get a few more of those over the next few days. We'll catch up as many guys that we can, and then we'll save some for the podcast, but we'll get a couple of them out with as episodes, just so that people have the chance to kind of get to know some of these new guys and kind of where they're at on the field and all those types of things. So that's why we wanted to have the podcast was to introduce people to each other so that we could have our football family, but to introduce you to the personalities that are on the team and the guys that are there and what they're going to do. So, yeah, really, really happy to have Kurleigh here, and lots of Toronto people commenting on that. That's, oh, we wish he was still here. And yeah, well, too bad. He's ours. That's how that works. So, okay, now you were saying we forgot the best nickname of all.
Yeah, this was Leanne's nickname, and this would be number 0.
Correct. Go ahead.
Blue cheese purifoy.
Was fantastic.
Absolutely outstanding. I don't know if I could think of any other way. One thing I forgot to bring up was the guest coaches. We obviously talked about Odell Willis, Almondo Sewell on the field. Just he was smiling ear to ear whenever we saw him on Sunday walking by, or on the field on Monday and today. And as announced by Morley Scott earlier today, Emmanuel Arsenault will be coming back to guest coach, which is awesome. That absolutely exciting. I can't wait to see Manny. So that I hope he gets there this week so that we can actually see it. Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
That would be awesome. So now we've introduced you to Kurleigh Gittens Jr. Make sure you follow him on Twitter. Yes. He's Kurleigh G. That's KURLEIGHG. And on Instagram, he's Kurleigh.Jr. So make sure that you're following him and all of his great stuff there. Superfan, you ready to do some hoard and tell fun and games?
Yeah, I got a few little oddball items. So all right,
just a moment.
Yeah, for sure.
Gotta get the. Here it comes. Yeah.
All right.
It's no bunny hop. Time for hoard. It's no bunny hop.
No bunny hop. It's all.
You have to expand on that. You can't just let that go on its own.
Oh well, it was just one of those things where we saw. It was one of the strength and conditioning coach. One of her exercises was them hopping around sideways and forward and. Just started humming. It was great.
Oh,
and of course they did today.
Good. Yeah. They did it again today. Oh, fantastic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Well, apparently 2-0. Oh, this is exciting.
2-0. How exciting! Yep.
Oh, there we go. Let's even it up, boys.
Oh, that's
all right. So, just a few things I picked up over the last week or so.
Exciting.
Kind of fun stuff in 1987. Back when they used to print ticket stubs for the season ticket holders, they did sort of a tribute to, this was the 75th Grey Cup season. So they did a tribute to former players of the green and gold history. So I got another set of the tickets, which I absolutely love. Here's a lovely one here with number 76, George McGowan, which is absolutely fantastic. There's someone that needs no introduction, Mr. Johnny Bright.
That's right.
John Dickerson Parker. I don't know. He really didn't do a lot.
No, he's not really well known. That guy too. Like, I mean, Norm Kwong? Who knows that guy?
I don't know. Nobody really knows him. And to complete the 4 of the Glory Gown gang, there is Mr. Rolly Miles, one of my favorites. Frank Guts Anderson, a guy that is again on the Wall of Honor.
I love how you put the nicknames in.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
there's some Super Toe. That's a young picture. No mustache yet.
A lot of hair in that picture.
A lot of hair. Speaking of nicknames, how about some Dr. Death?
Oh, we like Dr. Death. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Frankie Morris, I think, has more Grey Cup rings than anyone in CFL history. Yes, I think 13 or 14.
Wow.
He won 3 Grey Cups in a row twice. 45-6-7 and 54-5-6 with Edmonton, and then 7 more as a scout and a player personnel guy. And last but not least, the first guy up on the Wall of Honor, Mr. Tom Wilkinson. So yeah, that's a fun little set.
That's awesome.
Another thing I picked up, I do love things like stationery, letterhead, and lovely envelopes. This one is from 1962.
Wow.
Just check out that logo there.
Wow. That's, you know what? I'm shocked it's in like mint condition.
Absolutely. It's one of those things that just got stuck between a book or something. Absolutely beautiful to Alberta Government Telephones, the old AGT. And then last but not least, I showed some early, was it late 70s, early 80s Edmonton Sun, where they had the player portraits. In
Yes.
83, they did a Meet the Esks where they had what they called two up. And there's some there.
Oh,
Hopefully you can
nice.
see that.
Oh, wow.
Greg Marshall, who never actually took a snap with us. He didn't have the best luck with injuries. Oh, yeah. We know we're going to like this one.
Oh, I know what's coming on this. Oh, look at that hair.
Look at
27.
that beauty.
Why even have the other one? Like,
Well,
I mean, just,
no one's going to see it.
Yeah. Everyone's
lovely.
looking. Oh, Potter and Stevenson together.
Yes,
Interesting.
together at last.
That's a nice one.
Yes, absolutely.
Together at last.
Rookie. There we go.
Oh, rookie Blake Dermott.
Yeah,
Oh my
absolutely.
goodness.
That was his first season.
Wow.
Back when he was a U of A guy. It looks like
He looks just like that still.
just like
it.
Oh yes, some U of A guys. Peter Schenko.
Yes. Stuart McAndrews. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I know all these names. You're just like, oh, who's that again?
I says who?
Yeah, and if Dale Potter wasn't enough, we've got Tommy Towns,
Tom Towns,
Mike McLeod. I've got a few doubles in here, so just going through that.
Okay.
And I won't go through all of them, but I think this is a good one to end on because these guys did all right for themselves. 2 Wall of Honor inductees.
Warren Moon and Hector Potier. Wow.
And I'm kind of hoping they are both there in a couple of weeks for that home opener. So
yeah, well,
we will see.
Pretty sure one will be because he's kind of here all the time. So that's a good thing, but we'll see about the other.
There we are.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well done, Superfan.
Yeah,
as always. I always love it.
Yep.
All right. Our next thing is to talk a bit about some roster moves because in training camp, there is a few roster moves that happen.
Usually are. And more to come.
Absolutely. Next week, we're going to have at least 14 releases to talk about that are going to be coming out in the next short while here. But we did have a couple of signings in kicker Vincent Blanchard, who was in an NFL tryout.
Patriots. He was, yeah.
And then now is signed here. So he joined on Tuesday.
Was on the field today. Yep.
And defensive back Marquise Wilson, who was on the field today, you said earlier.
Number 42. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Now, we did have the suspended guys that were on there. They just showed up on one of the signings or releases. Defensive back Kyle Cass, running back Shawo. Yep. Yeah, Shawo Olanilua. I was pretty close.
Olanilua.
Okay, there we go. And defensive back James Wiggin Jr. So
that one's easier.
That one is definitely. Now released, we had a couple of surprise releases on the opening day of training camp.
As we got there, so I'm just wondering if that was maybe failed a physical or for whatever reason. It seems odd that they wouldn't be allowed to get to the first day of camp. So
exactly. So it was linebacker Wesley Apollon, who has been dealing with a number of injuries since he has been here.
Yep.
And defensive lineman Cole Nelson, which was a bit of a surprise.
Picks,
yeah, and he was in the top draft, not like first overall, but he was in a first round draft pick. Was he not, Cole Nelson? Yeah,
I think so.
So that was a bit of a surprise. The rest were guys that were from rookie camp that didn't make it to the main camp. So linebacker Markale Benton, national wide receiver Hunter Brown, quarterback Caleb Ellaby, defensive back Jalen Green, wide receiver Charles Heaton III, running back Brian Harrion, offensive lineman Lindell Hudson II, defensive back Cale Jackson Jr., defensive lineman Azir Kamara, defensive lineman Trayvon Mason, wide receiver Tony Tate, linebacker Chris Whitaker, and unfortunately quarterback Obadiah Jones.
Oh, just the name itself was like meant to play football.
We were so ready for that, but oh well, this is what happens when we get into training camp times. Things change and people move on. So sorry, we barely knew ye, but we have a lot of other guys, and as we know, 14 others that are likely going to be being removed today, and we will find out about that either later tonight or tomorrow morning. So
I wonder if it's even more now that we've signed 2 more people.
Oh,
although I guess they're non-counters, so probably not.
Maybe. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, one of them is for sure because
Right.
it's the draft pick. I don't know about Marquise Wilson though.
Yeah, he's an American, so I don't think so.
So I don't think so. So we might have 15. So we'll have to see how that goes. Let's talk about this week for training camp super fan. So we've got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday regular practices at Commonwealth. I'm hearing that there may be some rain on Thursday or Friday, but tomorrow should be gorgeous. So we'll be out for that. And then, of course, Saturday is Fan Day at Clark Park. We're very excited to see you guys there. We will be on Radio Row, be setting aside to do some more interviews with some guys and work on getting some plugs and things so that we can get things going for the season. We did that last year, and it was a ton of fun.
It was a lot of fun, yeah.
So we're really looking forward to getting to know some of these other guys and hopefully seeing a bunch of you. So if you're down at Fan Day, come find us on Radio Row. Come and say hello. I hope to have our stickers there. So hopefully that's what we're hoping for. So but come and see us. We would love to see you on Saturday. Mike, is your whole gang headed down?
Yeah, actually, and our little guy is bringing several of his friends. So, it should be a lot of fun. So I guess we'll see. I think it's great. I am excited to see it at Clark Park. Of course, we've had it at Commonwealth the last several years. I think the best part about having it at Clark is no stairs. So that's going to be kind of nice. Just walk straight in.
I'm quite okay with that. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I realized on Monday as I was coming back up that I'm like, I did not properly train in the off season for all of these stairs. Yes.
Well, we cannot be Brian Kelly. So
none of us could be Brian Kelly.
No, there's only one Brian Kelly. Mm-hmm. I was talking to Ken about Brian the other day as just an aside, and I'd forgotten he retired when he was 32.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Had a great season in 87 and then was gone. So
went out on top.
Yeah. Yeah, not so bad. So like I said, I mean, obviously we've never had a spot at a table at Clark, so this is going to be kind of fun. So I'm looking forward to it on Saturday. And come on down. There's usually a lot of games. Tons of alumni will be there. If the launch of the 75th season, the press conference they had was any indication, there was more alumni there than any other time that they've had some sort of press release. So it's going to be a pretty exciting time. Lots of players, tons of autographs, fun games for the kids. Last year, the year before, they had a dunk tank where you could dunk Odell Willis, which was kind of fun. So come on down.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah. So 9 to noon on Saturday. I just a tip that I want to pass on to the team. Friday would be a great day to launch some merch that would be available on Fan Day.
That would be cool, wouldn't it?
I'm just saying. I hate that saying, just saying, but I shouldn't have said that. What I should have said is, I think it's a good idea. That's what I should have said. So I apologize for me saying, just saying,
as you should.
That's awful. Anyway, I get after my children for that all the time. So that's not what I'm not. I am saying that it would be a great idea. Leave it at that. Hope to see you all on. Thanks, Tim. Hope to see you all on Saturday from 9 till noon.
9:30 to 1:30.
If we were allowed, we'd all have 6 o'clocker loggers there, but I don't think we're allowed. So
who knows what's in this,
Correct.
This
Who
Yeti
knows?
mug. No one knows.
Nobody knows.
Yep.
Well, thank you again, Superfan, for this wrap up of training camp. I want to say thanks again to Kurleigh Gittens Jr. for meeting us on the field to chat, and we will get some more of those this week, which is very exciting. I do want to also recognize our friends at Pay It Forward with Football. Make sure you are following them and helping to spread kindness in this world because we need more of that. Superfan, where does everybody find you?
They can find me at 56 Parkies on all the socials, and the Horde and History segments will be at the Edmonton Football History account at EDMHISTOREE.
fantastic. And of course, you can follow our sister at Duchess Lombardi, who is back active on Twitter now that training camp is back open. So find her there. You can find me at Freepalicious, and you can find the show at the Turf District. That is on all different social medias that you would like to join in. Find us there, join the huddle. And as I said off the top of the show, if you haven't already, do us a favor and just click that subscribe button. We'd like to hit that 300 before our 300th show. It's getting so close. And we need to find the perfect guest for 300, which we will work on. Let you know as we know more. If you're on YouTube live, stick around for overtime, where we will take some of your questions. We will try to keep it a little bit briefer this evening because we know there is a hockey game on that everybody wants to see the third period for. So we'll keep it a little bit slim. But other than that, join us. Otherwise, we will be back next week to talk about Fan Day. We'll talk about more camp updates, and of course we'll get ready for our first preseason game, which happens the Saturday after, and we will have all of our tailgate fun headed your way. Before I forget, because I realize this whole show I've gone, if you haven't already, check out the store, please. Zazzle.ca/store/turf_district_shop. We have lots of good things there. The hats are now live, and there will be some new items showing up very soon. And you'll want to see these. They're pretty cool.
They are.
So check them out there. So for Commissioner Kayla and Superfan Mike, I'm Andrew. Remember, you cannot catch footballs with your face, and we will absolutely talk to you next week.
Don't go anywhere. It's overtime.
And we are back for
We're back in the room.
overtime. Look at us go.
Yes.
That was almost the smoothest transition to overtime ever.
Just like we're getting right into the regular season swing of things.
Right? I love the fact that we were both rocking out to the...
Oh, yes.
I got the air drums going. You got the...
Yeah. Got the horns rocking.
It's outstanding. It's very good. Let me switch all the banners here to the right thing. We are in overtime, so add your questions into the chat, and we will do our best to answer them to our best of our abilities, which are limited at best because we're both tired from being at training camp and being excited. But we will help as much as we can. So
who can sleep with this much excitement?
Right.
Just saying.
Okay. What do we got going on there?
Leanne is saying that the Fieldhouse reunion was pretty sweet. It was, again, fantastic, especially seeing Leanne and James, who I know that they'd been here previously. I know that you had met up with Leanne and James.
Yes.
In the last 6 months anyway. This is the first time for me seeing them in person in forever. So that was absolutely outstanding that they got to come on down and share the love. It was great.
Oh, I mean, and nothing like a little blue cheese purifier to bring people together.
Well,
right?
That is absolutely one of my favorites of all time. So I don't know.
I'm not sure he's going to like it very much.
I'm not sure.
It's hilarious. Anyway. Yeah, I'm sure he was never called that before, but anyway.
No, for sure.
We love you, Luchez. Please don't hurt us. Okay.
Yeah, please don't.
Yeah. All right. Oh, Chris doing it right. Oilers on the tablet, YouTube chat on the phone, and pod on the big screen. Hashtag priorities, as it should be.
2-0 in the second intermission.
Ooh, very good.
Let's go, team.
Come on, guys. Let's tie this up and take it back to Vancouver to win another one and then win it at home.
Yes,
Oilers in
please.
6, right? That's what we need. Yep.
Absolutely. Cliffy D reminding everybody, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. And while you're subscribing, why don't you go over and check out the Alouettes Flight Deck as well? They've got a YouTube channel, which is outstanding. And he'd also like to hit 300 subscribers. So let's make it happen.
They can do it after us, though, because we started before them.
Right. That seems fair.
I think it's fair. Yeah, that's the only thing. Yeah.
I don't see a problem with that.
All right. That I agree, though. Yes, please go and subscribe to our friends over at the Alouettes Flight Deck.
100%.
Amazing, especially with their live hits after games. It's fantastic. So
it is a lot
highly
of fun
recommend
to
it.
watch.
Yes.
Supermom also loved her football training camp experience, her first time. So that was a lot of fun, and she'll be back again to training camp possibly tomorrow.
Oh, fantastic. That's great. Yes. No, I love having Supermom there. And it was nice actually to have her there for Mother's Day. So I could, wish her a happy Mother's Day and thank her for having such a nice son to be my friend.
Yeah, exactly. That's why she did it. I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure too. She said, he's very patient. I'm like, oh, trust me, I know. Because I push every button to see how it goes and he sticks around. So something, that's what it is.
A little liquid patience.
You're welcome.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So Leanne's question for both of us: what has been the most surprising for us at camp so far?
Ooh, do you want to take that one? Or you want me to take that first?
Go for it. You should go first. This one.
Okay. Mine seems a little obvious, but mine was Kurleigh Gittens Jr. Yes. I am blown away because I was under the impression he would not be playing for the first 6 games.
Right.
But he does not look like he has missed a step. Like I think to me, that's a huge thing for the team. And he's really been a pleasant surprise, for sure. That I've been very, very excited about. The other thing that I will just quickly say is that Boris Beatty is a monster. I had no idea he was that tall. Yeah. And when I was like, oh my goodness, you're a kicker? Wow. He's like basketball player. So it's pretty wild. So I think those are my 2 biggest so far. What about you, Superfan?
I was impressed by the play of the defensive line. Mm-hmm. When you are basically rebuilding that defensive line from scratch with just 1 or 2 holdovers from the previous year, I thought it was outstanding to see how well they have played the first 3 days of camp. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what that's going to look like when we start playing other teams.
Yes.
For a lot of the offensive line will be very happy when our defensive line is playing other teams and not them every day. So yeah, that's going to be very exciting to see. I think, like you said, though, Kurleigh Gittens Jr. Suiting up and playing well. Like I thought he might be suited up and just sort of watching from the sidelines. No, he's in there and he is showing he is back to his form from a few years ago.
100%. Totally agree.
Hondo P.
100%. Yes.
Exactly. So Leanne saying that they can't make it to Fan Day this year, but they will be here in spirit. Chris Agar, is getting in the way of his fan daying. So it is unfortunate for sure.
There will be now. The trick is there will be stickers at tailgate as well, so you can get your stickers at tailgate. Doesn't have to specifically be at Fan Day, but we will have some there for sure.
Right, absolutely. So Leanne was talking about the envelope I was showing. Her dad worked at AGT. One day, Hugh Campbell called him at work to convince him to renew his season tickets. I mean, how do you say no to Hugh Campbell?
Wow, that's amazing. That's I want Hugh Campbell to call me.
Please.
Can he call me to see if I can renew my tickets?
God, is that you? Oh. Was great seeing Bud Steen there yesterday. He did say he swears every year they add 10 more steps to Commonwealth to getting out of.
I feel his pain. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Leanne talking about the Kurleigh Gittens interview. I think he is his new fave. I think we are going to see a lot of people wearing number 19 jersey.
Yeah,
in the stands for sure.
I would agree. Canadian kid.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ready to hit the field and get after it. So, Yeah, that'll be the conversation, Mike, we're going to have next week is if you have to pick a jersey number right now of a current player, who would you pick?
It is a tough one for sure.
I know. So I want to we'll have a whole week to ruminate on it, and then we're going to come with what number.
Maybe it'll be the Jimmy Gaines winner. You don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, you never know. Well,
Maybe just Jimmy Gaines.
Don't get Shannon Brooks. Didn't.
Yeah.
Our Jimmy Gaines winners never stick.
Yeah. Well,
he did stick for the whole of last year, I guess.
He was here. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay. We'll
people are talking about ordering some swag.
Ooh, okay. Love some new Turf District podcast merch. Be available for next. So, why did you put just saying in there, Tim? Yes, I would love for some new stuff to get. We have some new stuff that's kind of prepped, but it's just waiting for release. The teaser that I will give all of you that are now on the podcast. We have a new logo for the tailgate that will be coming out in the next couple of days, along with the tailgate menu. So expect to see that between Wednesday or Thursday. Share it to all your friends so that you know what's coming. All of the food and things are coming. But we have been working on a couple of little special things, and those will be coming out right away. There will also be Turf District tailgate merch. I did give Leanne a bit of a sneak peek, and I am glad that she was excited about it. I love hearing that, but there will be some merch to go along with it, which because we want to. The tailgate is such a big part of where we get to meet all of you. Right. It's a huge part for us, and so I think that's just as important as.
It's gonna be exciting this year too, with everyone lined up now.
Right, we're all going to be set.
So it's going to be so awesome.
So excited. Leanne ordered her hats at training camp. I am excited to see the hats on people because I need to order one myself, but I think we're going to kind of do a group order between you, me, and Kayla.
Right.
So, and I got a couple of that I got to get for some players and stuff. So we'll
save on shipping.
Yep, exactly. There is also until tomorrow, there's 20% off of everything in the store. So now's the time. Check it out. And Leanne saying that her dad didn't say no to Hugh. Nobody would say no to Hugh.
Yeah, exactly. It's not possible.
Yeah.
Leanne did mention if she was going to get a jersey, who would she get?
Thick six and then curly mittens.
There we go.
We're gonna get in so much trouble with these guys.
Yeah, pretty much.
Although, wouldn't that be hilarious to get a jersey that was 96 and then put thick 6 on the back?
Nice. It's only gonna work if he scores a touchdown. You got to let him get in there.
That's right. Yeah. So, Chris, if you could help out, J Jack, could you help us out with that?
Please.
Just a little. Yeah, TD for 96. So then my jersey will make sense when I get it.
Right, exactly.
Perfect. Thank you. Appreciate that.
All right, let's get some questions in here.
Yes, please.
So Kick Soda is asking, biggest question for me will, of course, be, how close to the AI previews did we get? Did anyone ride an elk? Just kidding. Great content. You got my subscribe. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
The AI previews were a little out. There's nobody riding an elk yet.
Nope, not yet. Well, not yet.
I mean, it's only 3 days in. You never know. Like by Friday.
By Friday, it's going to be Andrew just riding around on that elk,
right out on the field,
standing with the enemies, hung in my horns. All right.
Pardon?
It's a song called Rhinosaur by. Anyway, Soundgarden.
Of course it is.
I think it would be a great song for the team to come out in. Come on now.
Song for them to come out in?
Yes.
Rhinosaur.
Yeah.
Who's that by again?
Soundgarden.
Soundgarden. Okay. I'll have to look that one up.
It's from the Down on the Upside album.
Okay.
But yeah, the opening line is standing with my enemy hung on my horns. Come on now.
That If you didn't hear it right, it would be a totally different lyric. But I
Right.
do, yeah.
All right.
I want everybody to write in with what their misheard lyric was for that when they first listen
Outstanding.
to it. Because
Just go to kissthisguy.com.
The best.
It is a great
misheard
website.
text. Yes.
All right. Tim's got a question that we were all kind of asking in the stands today at training camp.
What the fire trucker is going on in Montreal with Sean Lemon? All right.
That is an interesting question.
So there's a couple of things getting into this because there are people who are, of course, relating it to the entire Chad Kelly situation, which is very different in my mind. But I do, we have stuck away from it on purpose because this isn't an Argos show, for one thing. And the other thing is, but the one thing that I guess I will say, and this is the only thing I'm going to say on the Chad Kelly thing, is I'm glad that the CFL did their investigation. I'm glad that they came down with a decision and all those things. I think that everybody in the leadership of the Argos should have known better and not had him like that's just ridiculous in my mind. I feel sorry for the Argos PR guy. How does he deal with that? Like it is ridiculous that he is anywhere around there right now. So
I totally agree, especially when given the nature of what has happened with Chad Kelly, how many women around the team, whether it's trainers or therapists or other staff, people that are just bringing out water, helping with equipment. There are just so many women in the ticket store that you're going to be going by. That has got to be tough for them. So I don't know.
100%. Well, but it's tough for everybody across the league.
Oh, 100%. But I'm saying
like it's not just them. And to me, it's a very selfish and stupid move. And that's my feeling on it. So the pinball presser was cringeworthy. I agree, as were a number of comments online, but I just don't.
Don't read the comments. Oh,
yeah, I know you keep telling me that. I keep doing
never.
It. I do get a couple in, and then I stop usually. So I'm like, oh yeah, no, right, don't do that. Needless to say, there's different people in power there, right? There's Ryan Didwitty, there's John Murphy, there's Pinball Clemens, there's whoever
John
the hell
Murphy's
the
another
president
problem
is
to begin with. So
he is a whole other problem on his own. Yeah. And out of at least 4 people, not somebody going, hey, you know what? This isn't a good idea.
Right.
I don't get it. So very, very disappointed in that. Now, going back to the Sean Lemon thing, he has every right to appeal.
However, it's black and white in the contract.
Agreed. And so I agree with what the CFL put out today, in that I feel a little rough for CFLPA guys because they have to represent everybody.
Yeah.
And if Lemon was really pushing for the appeal, like, I don't know, are they allowed to say no, we can't because of this is black and white rule, or I don't know. Like it's weird. But then Montreal saying, yeah, it's fine. Like,
well, the problem is too, you're allowed X number of people at camp. Someone unretires and goes to camp. That's one more body you've got to get rid of.
Right.
For Sean Lemon to be there. And then when he loses this appeal, then you've lost one more player. And I don't think that's fair to the player that's going to end up getting cut because of it. It's not really fair to the fans. It's not fair to the rest of the teammates.
Right. And the fact of the matter is like that it is a black and white rule. Now I get where people are saying, well, he bet on his own team to win, but
again, they're not saying you can't bet. They're just saying you can't bet on CFL games. You want to bet on an NFL game or Major League Baseball or hockey or basketball, whatever. Power to you.
Go ahead.
You can't bet on because it's even if you win the game and you bet to win. You never bet against your team. Just it looks really bad because if you do
Correct.
lose the game,
then yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, anyway, it doesn't go. So Tim asking, the question is, did he sign his retirement papers or was just transferred to retired? Well, even if he hasn't signed his retirement papers, he's been given a lifetime ban, I believe is what they said. Was that not right? So,
or it's an indefinite ban.
Right. Okay.
And again, the problem is he was retired. They are not planning for him to be at camp. So they have their max number. Right. And now they've got one more person that's going to have to be cut in order to fit him, unless he's the guy that gets cut.
Right. Okay. And Tim is saying suspension. So, needless to say, it's I get that you have the right to appeal, but yeah.
But again, even if you're appealed, it's like that's fine, but you're not coming to camp. You are suspended from camp.
Right. And this goes back to my heart of hearts that is like, you need to follow the rules.
Right.
And if you don't follow the rules, then you don't get the privilege for either one. Like,
when it's worked out, then we can talk about you coming back.
Correct. Yes, you have to earn the right to be back.
And again, a talented guy. He certainly adds a lot to it. I mean, he added a lot to Montreal last year, obviously.
Sure did.
But I don't know.
But
I just don't want to be part of that circus.
Yeah, I agree. So that would be what I'm going to say on that for now.
Right.
Any other questions that we can not be
absolutely
such awful things?
Yeah. So Kick Soda does have a bit of some context for his point about the AI.
Okay.
Just search 2024 CFL training camp and they should come up. I did one for each of the teams after initially just teasing the riders. Red Blacks loved theirs enough to retweet. So,
oh, you did those Kick Soda. Okay, I did see them. I did see them all, but I didn't realize you did them. That's awesome. That is very cool. Yeah, no, they were really, really cool. So, yeah, no riding of Elks yet. Like we said, Friday.
Well, again,
I'm waiting for my elk to get here so that I could ride it down the steps, hopefully back up the steps, because I don't want to walk up the stairs again. Because good Lord, yeah, that hurts. Again. Actually, right now going down is worse. My knee is not happy with going downstairs. Upstairs probably okay, but down, ooh, not a fan.
Let's just be on one level.
That's Clark.
We'll get you a sled and you can just slide all the way.
Shut
down.
Up! No.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nicole just banned me from going to training camp, right?
Exactly.
She could hear you and it's like, no sleds allowed. Yes.
Just one more clarification from Tim.
Okay. Transferred to retired on April the 10th. Transferred to league suspended April 24th. Okay.
But is he able to be transferred to retired if he did not sign the papers? I don't know.
I have no idea what the rules are for that. I don't know.
Are we all following rules?
Let's everyone follow the rules.
I've been watching a lot of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. You're such an Amy. Okay.
I totally am.
That's right. All right.
Yeah. Duo tangs, you fold them out this way, not on top of one another. That's stupid. That's what it's a duo out both ways to help solve that problem. Anyway.
Perfect. All right. Tyler has a question for us.
Oh, exciting. Yeah.
Any interaction with the coaching staff or just access to players at this point?
We do have the ability to ask. Most of the coaches, especially in training camp, are very busy. So they kind of run off, but we have had conversations with Coach Jones. Nothing that I've recorded as of yet. I'm hoping to get that as we get kind of later into the week, because he will do a scrum and we'll make sure that we video that to get some information. But I am trying to get him just kind of on a one-on-one situation as well, just to kind of see if we can get some updates on how he's thinking things are going. So far, it sounds like he's pretty happy with how the guys have been performing. So we will get more of that. I think when we get as far as coordinators and things like that, I think that will happen as we get closer to the season or possibly even some on fan day. But right now, they're kind of not available. They're usually one of the first ones that are running off the field to go and get the next thing prepared for the guys for the afternoon.
Excellent. Got a question here from Leanne.
Yes.
On behalf of the birthday boy.
Oh, excellent. Who says the Bang'em Woo in the intro? Actually, you know what? It came from the team.
Yeah.
So I don't actually know who does the woos. I haven't had a chance to, well, and the people who would have made it are now no longer there. So I can't go
Right.
back and say, hey, who did this? But I don't know. I don't know who it is. Everyone, probably everybody thinks that it's Odell Willis, but I would think, but I don't know who it is.
It's a mystery to us all.
It wasn't our woos. So who knows?
It was not. We're
No.
not the Woo Gang.
we not the Wu Tang. Yeah.
The Woo Gang clan. All right. So we've got a couple of questions. First from Chris Agar. The one day I was there, Joel DeBlanco did not look out of place at all. And
Okay.
Ken follows that up. I can't wait to see where DeBlanco slots in when the final roster is decided. He certainly was not with the ones today. He was doing, it seemed like he was focusing a lot on the special teams thing as a rookie, that especially the guy with his motor, that doesn't really surprise me too much. I think, we could see him either blocking or on attacking. So, should be very interesting to see him on specials because, again, he just does not stop.
Yeah, I think he will. Like, he'll grow into it, but I don't think he's ready to be right out there. So, and if they're able to start 4 Canadians on the line, and birthday boy shares a birthday with George Lucas. Nice.
Pretty sweet.
4 Canadians on the line, 2 Canadian receivers. That could be, that's 6 there, and then you have 1 and or 2 on the defensive line.
Yeah,
your entire secondary could all be American. So
right, and for that matter, your linebacking core, right? So
that's what I mean. Is that whole back? What is it? 8? Yeah, 8. They could all be American. So we're not too sure where that's going to land quite yet, because they once they trim down, you kind of get a little bit better idea of kind of who is in the 1s and who is in the 2s. But
yeah.
I had a great conversation with Hernan on Monday where he's like, yeah, well, I could give you a depth chart, but it would be,
it changes play by play. It could be useless about a half hour in. When the ink would still be wet and it would be useless, because I mean, I saw Scott Hutter playing defensive half a lot today.
Really? Interesting.
Because, blue cheese was safety. So,
okay. It's never going to get old.
Nope, sure is not.
Okay. Leanne saying, I almost peed my pants when DeBlanco walked by on Sunday and stopped to talk to Andrew. He is a good guy. Like,
he's a great dude.
Yeah, he said hi. And when he was walking off the field on Monday, he's like, he waved, and it was actually really funny because we did our interview with Kurleigh, and as I was getting him all set up, Gino was walking in, and he yelled from just outside the locker room. He's like, Kurleigh. And he looked over, and then he realized that he was talking to us. He goes, "You're with my people." And he waves to us. He was like so nice.
Difference is you could hear him. So that was great.
Yeah, that's great. And but then after we finished the interview, then Donovan Alumba came over to say hello and chat with us, and then Dean came over to chat, and so
God
that
save
was
the Dean.
Absolutely. So it was. I mean, it's nice that we're getting those interactions, right? So that's great. Yeah. Tim Capper loves Gino. No kidding. Who doesn't?
God.
Amazing.
Well, I guess opposing DBs probably aren't going to. So
maybe not big fans. That's fair.
But that's fine. I'm good with that.
I did laugh though, because Donovan was saying, the Coach Shivers calls a lot of man-to-man.
Yeah.
And he said, if we line up, we just do man-to-man, we come back, and he's like, man-to-man. And I'm like,
fire trucker.
Fire trucker. So they're going to get some workout on that. That's the big thing. Yeah. All right. Next one there.
Tim Capper's asking, guys, do you know what it means when a player is transferred to future active? It's almost like that they're not playing now. Is that like, it's not suspended?
No.
But I mean, to me, future active means they're holding on to the rights, but they're not on the roster, maybe. Not sure how that would work.
Would that be like a guy who went back to school?
Maybe it's possible. I mean, I'd have to see an example of someone who was future active and see if there's any, what is going on with them. So
They're the people that drive the DeLoreans. They're future active.
Nice.
See? You're welcome.
Outstanding. And I think we were down to our last question. I think this is a fun one to end it off at.
Perfect.
From Cliffy D. That is a fun topic. What's the podcaster version of the Brooklyn Nine-Nine gang?
Oh my. Well, yeah, obviously I'm Amy. That's
Well, I don't know. I think all of us are a little more Charles than we'd like to admit.
it's fair.
Yeah.
I fanboy a lot, so Charles would also be
Exactly. And then the
suitable.
food and yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Nicolage.
Well done. I had forgot
my.
the name. That was outstanding. I mean, just trying to think. Well,
Everyone's got a little bit of Captain Holt.
I think so. But
No one's as cool as Rosa.
I was gonna say, is Kayla's got some Rosa in her, like a little, like you just don't actually know what's going on, like kind of.
She doesn't scare me nearly as much as Rosa would.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. And there's no pimento, so.
Yes. Yeah. Cliffy says I'm definitely a Gina. Yes. That's yeah. And Cliffy says Kayla is 100% Rosa. So there we go. Yeah, I would agree. I don't know, Mike.
We don't have any cherries.
We don't have it. Well,
yeah, it's like looking in a mirror.
That's right. I was thinking. Yeah, perfect. Yeah. Just like Singer Mobley, right?
Right. Just
like, yeah. That was fun. I can't think of I'm trying to think of who else.
As long as we're not Hitchcock or Scully, we're fine.
Yeah, no. Those are just all the guys at Piffles. I mean, really. We already know that.
Yeah.
Tim would be Boyle. Yeah, well, I could see it.
How's a sourdough starter?
Title of a sex tape. Anyway, okay. On that note, I think we have reached the end of overtime.
End of something.
End of something.
Oh my goodness.
Once again, a reminder, Fan Day is on Saturday from 9 till noon at Clark Park. Come down and meet up with us. Meet up with the guys. Get some autographs, get a chance to meet some people, chat with us, get your stickers, all those fun things, chat with our good friends Dave and Morley. We will all be down there Saturday morning at Clark from 9 till noon. So come and find us there. If you are around during the week, join us at training camp. We'd love to see you there and chat some things that are going on there and some assessments on what's going on. I should give a shout out to Jake Taylor's dad, because I had a great conversation with him also on Sunday. So it was a ton of fun there. So join us there if you can. Otherwise, where does everybody find you when you're not at Commonwealth Superfan?
I'm just always at Commonwealth. You can find me on the social medias at 56 Parkies. And then, of course, the Edmonton football history at EDMHISTOREE. One little thing there. Fan Day actually is being advertised as 9:30 to 1:30.
Oh, 9:30 to okay. I've had it 9 to noon. Okay, well, great. 9:30 to 1:30. Well, we'll see you at 9:30 to 1:30.
There we go.
Outstanding. So join us there. Make sure you're following our sister at Duchess Lombardi. You can follow the show at the Turf District, and that is on all of your social medias. So join us there. Thank you again for joining us. We will be back next week to recap more of training camp and Fan Day. We're excited to see you all there. Until then, for Commissioner Kayla and Superfan Mike, I'm Andrew. Remember, you can't catch footballs with your face, and we will absolutely talk to you in 1 week. Yes.